for those of us that are involved with that to see if we can find out any intel that they might have, and if they can give us some good leads on how to, take these fuckers out.
Yeah, basically, like stop doing what they tell us. Stop believing what they tell us, and just do what we like. We should just do what we think we should do, rather than listen to all these people who may just be pulling us around.
Right. Kind of try to form our own courses of action and opinion, and then respond to that accordingly. Which I'm totally cool with. It's I think we need to do some investigating, and as far as I'm concerned, just find out who we need to kill first. Somebody's gonna die. All these extra normal entities breathing my same air. I will not abide that.
All right.
So I guess Jeb will start out. I know we kind of were hoping that Service would be here since he's actually above both Jeb and Tommy in chain of command, but I would probably.
He had a lot. He had a lot to do with what's going on today, but we can make it work.
It's all right. He's celebrating a girlfriend's birthday.
That's right. So does that mean Finn is a lesbian? That I would totally buy that.
Finn will not confirm nor deny any sexual orientation.
Nice.
If any at all.
Because it's none of your business, bang, bang.
That's right.
Mic on.
On the mage end, I know Caleb ended up dropping off Akono at Mosca's high rise.
And then I turned him around and had him drive us to Bartholomew's because he had all the he has the magic bullets.
Yep, magic bullets.
Has nothing
so you guys
wait a minute, has the magic bullets have nothing to do with the JFK business? I've no magic bullets that do that.
So you guys have the magic. He has the magic bullets.
Hello.
And the hunter assassins
know how to use them.
Have the guns.
That's right. So who all is in my humble abode, by the way?
The Oscar Mayer.
Akono. I think that's
the Wiener House.
Yeah.
The Wiener House. By the way, for those of you who don't know, lovely mansion in Evanston, in the Chicago area, in which I live, which is once the Oscar Mayer Wiener mansion of Chicago. And it's lovely, although, what year? 2018 we're in, yeah?
Yeah, probably.
I think we're in 2018, so it's still kind of covered in vines and looks abandoned. So it's kind of muddying up the neighborhood. But that's where you're at.
Oscar Mayer, the Sausage King of Chicago, not Abe Froman.
No, never heard of him.
It's Bartholomew.
The Sausage King of Chicago.
What is going on here?
Oh yeah.
I think if we could somehow figure out a way to get paid, I mean, if we're knocking off werewolves, vampires, I mean, most of them usually got dirty money. If we can somehow find out where that is, that can help keep us supplied, outfitted. I mean, shit, I barely got 2 fucking nickels to rub together, so.
Yeah, man, I know how you feel. Same here.
Ever since that feather-haired fucker shot a fucking hole in my radiator too, I'm sure that's gonna cost me at least $100 or something.
Well, I can fix that for you.
Over at Moore's, over at your buddy's fucking auto shop, so I appreciate that.
Hey, it's no problem, man.
Goddamn feather-haired fuck.
So for those who are at my humble abode, I usher them in. I let them know that my assistants, Bunny and Sunshine, will be along to help them out momentarily. I let them know that they have full run of the mansion, like from top to bottom,
Yeah.
including the basement, which has got the grotto, the pool, and the gun range.
And then they
Um,
also made
wait.
us pancakes and waffles the next morning.
I did, yeah. Your Sunshine's good at the pancakes and waffles.
Does the pool smell like hot dog water?
What was that? No. Look. One, you're not even there, Jeb. So eat my hot dog.
But he
and
would
then-
be if the hot tub had hot dog water in it.
Oh my God. We can arrange some things for you, Jeb. I mean, honestly, I've got some connections. But those of you that are there, just feel free to there's couches galore. Just make sure that there's nothing pokey or pointy, either, a spring or a needle. Just like shove things off the couch before you lay down is what I'm saying. And then, feel free to just crash here, right? And if anybody wants to use the bedroom, just let me know because it's lovely. And I'm just going to go find Bunny and Sunshine and I'll take care of you all. But in the meantime, just roam if you like.
So after I have pancakes and waffles, I'm gonna take my pouch full of magic ammunition that I had grabbed from Finn was helping me to select the ammunition that was best, and then I'm gonna start walking basically.
Like Kane from Kung Fu.
That's right. I'm just gonna walk to Earth.
Gonna walk here.
Go have adventures,
Uh-huh.
Except Native American and in Chicago. Modern.
All right, so this is after breakfast. You just kind of
Yeah,
walk off.
Yeah, I'm just out of here before the other guy wakes up with a hangover.
Okay.
Oh Christ! Someone still gets hangovers.
So Floyd is going to wake up late, and then while he's eating his breakfast of Lucky Charms this morning, and myself some luck, I will check the Network Zero stuff. Check the site to see if anything's been popping up, and then I'll check his conspiracy sites and stuff too, and just see what's going on.
Okay.
Especially in regards to like the ship sinking.
That hasn't hit yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
it doesn't
nothing.
happen.
There's nothing on about the ship yet.
That-
Because
that
any Network Zero people who are privy to that knowledge have not posted anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
But the comms on the Network Zero site
Mic off.
are very active. They're very, very active. There has been a lot of stuff being posted that's not necessarily supernatural or occult in nature, but there is a lot of speculation and idea that there are supernatural forces kind of rippling through the city that are creating creating and increasing the amount of violence that is happening in Chicago.
Mm.
So there's a lot of picture and a lot of video on things that cannot be directly linked to things of a supernatural nature, and they very well could be. So the amount of pics and communications are probably about 2 to 3 times more than they normally are. especially with Halloween coming up. I mean, we're in late October. I believe it's like October 25th or so.
Ooh.
Mic on.
So Florida,
Mic off.
so he's not really, he's only minorly connected with Network Zero, but I'll post
Mic on.
the information without any IDs of myself or any of the party that the Edwin got sunk last night, and like basically posting that I was there when it happened, and that there was some supernatural stuff involved, and that there was also some other hunter organizations involved.
Okay. How are you posting that? Are you doing it all text, or are you going to add any pictures from your fanny cam? Or
yeah, I'm gonna include pictures. I want to include a picture of, if I catch like the boat's name anywhere in any of my videos, I want to make sure to include that it has the boat's name.
I'm pretty sure that you said that you were going to take pictures of the donut life preserver things.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times I have my the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Yeah. I'll post as using my alias Gordon Lightfoot.
All right. Sundown.
But yeah, basically I want to get on there that, like solid proof that it was the Edwin Gott that went down, and that, whatever shots of supernatural stuff I have on the boat, that goes down. But I'm not, if there's any shots that show humans, especially any of the hunters, even the other Task Force Valkyrie hunters, any of that stuff, I want to keep that out.
Yep.
And I'm not even going to say it was
none of the sailors that you guys traumatized and kidnapped. I mean, saved and liberated.
Right.
I don't know what you're talking about. Those sailors were completely caught by me.
And all I'm gonna say is that there were other hunter groups involved, but I'm not gonna specifically call out Task Force Valkyrie.
Okay.
You should just do like a looped video of Finn pistol whipping the captain, and then like
Okay. Let's see here.
Lord of Darkness, did you
Yep.
get my whisper?
Yep, I'm responding right now. Thank you.
I'm gonna go refresh my bevy.
All right.
My bevy and me.
You don't have someone providing beverage service?
I wish.
Who does here? That is awesome. Does anyone have?
I just had a bottle of wine delivered to me.
Now you're just bragging.
Well, that
Yes. Yes, I am. I have few things in life I can brag about. Bottle service is one.
Righteous.
That's pretty big, actually. Anyone who could deliver me alcohol is asleep right now.
Oh my gosh.
See, interesting. Okay.
Are they doing alcohol delivery in like Minnesota as well?
Yep.
They're
Are
putting
they?
a law through. The House is looking at it tomorrow to allow them to let people take it home with them from like a restaurant.
Okay. Yeah, they do. Like there are a few places.
There are some liquor stores.
Through Instacart, you can get.
Oh, really?
You can get some wine delivery.
Yeah, yep, I did hear at Instacart you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I mean, obviously you can get liquor in many more places here, than in Minnesota. But yeah, basically ever since I think it was like almost immediately, the restaurants got basically anyone with a liquor license got a pass from TABC, the Texas Alcohol or TBAC, Texas Bureau of Alcohol and Tobacco or whatever. And anyway, they can now they they'll sell like little kits. So it's like for like $38, they'll give you like a bottle of vodka, like a 6-pack of like ginger beer, and then like lime juice to make your own Moscow Mule. And they give it off to you in like a little bag, and you just get to go. The one caveat is that you have to buy some type of food with it. So like, looking on the menu, we're like, pretzel bites for $3. Cool, we'll get that, and then.
Oh, Moscow mules! I have terrifying stories about Moscow mules.
Oh, yeah, I got hooked up. We went down the street and got the Moscow Mule kit. And for some reason, I was like, oh, this is supposed to be for like 2 drinks or something. And then I was like, oh no, it's supposed to be for like 6 people. No wonder.
Yeah. Oh my God, this doesn't taste like booze at all. Oh my God, this doesn't taste like booze at all. Oh my God, I can't stand.
Why are my legs like noodles?
We were on a choir tour of Florida, and my friend decided to make me what he called a vodka disciple. I had no idea that I was that target, but he said, "Hey, Steele, do you know how to make a Moscow Mule?" And I was like, I don't. He was like, "Hey, just go to the kitchen here, and this is what you do." So I was delivering one for him and one for me, one for him and one for me, one for him and one for me. We were sitting in this huge hot tub, this huge like literally a grotto that had like the waterfall and all this beautiful fucking night. And I'm sitting there and I'm, just happy and pleased as punch. And his name was Big D. And Big D said,
I don't think I want to know where this story's going.
Big D said,
it was me and Big D in a hot tub.
Big D said, Steele, go make me another Moscow Mule. And I did. I cannot stand up. He's like, that's okay. I'll go make you one. And apparently that night we were supposed to do an exchange concert with the Burt Reynolds Theater in Jupiter Beach, Florida. And 2 weeks later, I was laughing with Big D in the student lounge. I'm so glad that they didn't show up. And he said, oh, they did. I was like, well, I'm glad we didn't sing for them. And he said, oh, Steele. We did. And he was like, did we do the Mikado? We didn't do the Mikado. And he said,
Hey, Jack, where you were looking is very, very close to where you ran into them the first time.
He said, this is what you sounded like. My brain it seems with
That's where I was headed.
I don't know how close you were in relation to that area.
Yeah.
So if you're walking, it very well could take hours.
Yeah, I was just about to type a message, then you started talking to me.
Okay.
I'm going to utilize public transportation if necessary.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You've been in Chicago for a few months now, and you have you have a cell phone, right?
I do.
Okay. So you can either utilize Uber, Lyft, or you can also use like the L.
I'll take the L.
Okay.
I got this phone from Floyd, and I don't really know how it works.
Okay. Yeah, you can utilize
Actually,
the
I do know
L.
how it works.
I also think that there's a bus line that runs right over there too.
I do have a dot in the computer, so I know how to work a phone.
Oh, okay. All right, that sounds good.
But I don't have a bank account, so I just take the L.
You take the L. All right, so we are moving
Mic off.
so that I believe
Mic on.
when you guys took off, that was a Thursday when you guys left for Sheboygan, got on the boat, got on the Got, sank the Got,
Woo!
came back, and so now it's Friday. You guys got back at about 5 in the morning Friday. The Marines cleaned their weapons. Floyd ate some Funyuns and went to sleep. No, you had what was it? You had Lucky Charms? Was it Lucky Charms?
Lucky Charms and Frosted
Lucky
Flakes.
Charms.
Yeah, Lucky Charms and a nap.
I took some Adderall,
Yep. You did drugs, and
specifically Adderall.
did not sleep.
No, because I had a lot of shit to do, really. I just like Adderall and then conferred with Bunny and Sunshine to see what was going on while I was away.
Yep. You got caught up.
Important shit. It seriously is. Don't know. Hello.
So everybody else goes to sleep. Where we had left is everybody wakes up like kind of around the same times,
We got
except
that
for
scheduled.
Floyd.
Except for Floyd.
Floyd gets another 4 hours of sleep.
Hell yeah.
So, Akono, you probably would have experienced Bunny in the morning who made you like breakfast, who had the
Waffles. I'm a
breakfast
waffles
ready.
guy.
Waffles, right?
Good morning.
She loved the fact that you were waffles because I'm more pancakes, and she doesn't really get a chance to do her brilliance with waffles. Really, she uses vanilla, which is not particularly nummy. So
Mic off.
She was very excited, and before you left, she made sure to be like, "Oh, look, where are you going?" But she said it not British and like
Mic on.
normal human would speak.
She spoke human, not British.
Oh, she's human, yeah. American, yeah.
American human.
American.
She's American human. Yeah.
I would have said, we've got to meet up with the rest of our team. I'm going to find them.
Is she a female woman?
She's a brunette, Bunny.
Female woman.
She's a lovely woman.
Much
Young,
like
she's
Angel
youngish,
Fairchild.
but she's very intelligent, this Bunny. She was probably wearing a bathing suit, even though it's
Mic off.
She likes to do that.
Mm.
For comfort, really. It's
Immunity to
nothing
cold.
really else. So she probably just was like, "Oh, that's great. Where is that?" But she doesn't say it like she says it much more. I don't know.
Mic on.
surreptitiously than I did.
I would say, well, I can't disclose the location of our safe house to you. Wait, no. I can't tell you where the safe house is. I will go to Moscow's and see if I can get some information from him and contact the rest of our crew. And with
she
that, I'll just kind of...
Yeah, she obviously lets you wander off, but you don't see her making notes mentally.
I don't see her making notes mentally.
No.
Okay, so you guys get through the morning. You guys do your morning routine. You eat waffles and pancakes.
Best waffles and
Wake
pancakes.
up. The Marines wake up feeling super motivated to run and do push-ups and do
Burpees.
shoulder touches, burpees.
We're on a boat. They can go swimming too.
The partner assisted push-up sit-up combo. You hold my feet
hold
as
on.
I do
I got
sit-ups.
I'm gonna roll through this.
The ambiguously gay duo.
There's some like erotica things going on. Is that it? Is that what you're saying?
I don't,
Specifically.
Greg. I don't know if you ever saw that when you were in basic training, but I sure as hell did.
I saw some of those things and I was like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
I thought you were gonna say YMCA.
Did you ever see the Shower Olympics?
I mean, maybe we had a version of that was.
Yeah,
called-
you probably did.
I don't want to know. Really.
I bet you do.
No, I think it's a be careful not to drop your soap moment.
Nope.
Or it's a soap relay. I don't know. No. We're not going there. No.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible, but,
Terrible.
but delightful,
And delightful.
memorable. Anyways,
All right. Let's leave that behind
enough of that.
before we get sued.
We won't get sued.
No.
Oh, you got a 58.
I don't know what that
Holy
means.
shit.
Yeah, Lord, that's lovely. Though.
58 push-ups.
It was supposed to be yeah. So I rolled
I
60.
see.
Yeah. So I got 3 successes.
Yeah.
Mic off.
Dice. I rolled my athletics plus either stamina or strength, 4 dots in each. So yeah, I figured
Yeah,
out.
you got a good solid workout in.
Ah! I lift the boat out of the water.
while inside it.
I can lift the boat into my own weight.
Yeah, no, you get a good solid workout in.
After that, I do want to place a call with Stolon.
Okay.
Because I definitely want to let him know. I'll say, yeah, we were with Agent Finn. Don't know if you heard from her yet, but here's my AAR. We proceeded as directed to Sheboygan, intercepted the Edwin H. Gott. We rendezvoused with Task Force Cascade, who had been in contact with tangos on board the Gott. Made our way up to Task Force Cascade. And once we did that, we exfilled the crew off the boat and then scuttled the boat to get rid of any evidence of ENE activity. I will describe too, that there was this crazy, these.
Yeah, he would ask what kind of evidence.
And I'll just say, that there was, as soon as we set foot on the boat, we saw.
He said your initial report, your reasoning for going there was because there were vampires.
Yeah, that was the intel that we originally reconnoitered.
Yeah. So
now what we actually this may be
describe the ENEs.
There was I don't know, they look kind of like the if Pulp Fiction, the guy that they had in the thing, the gimp. That's I mean, I'm telling you, like, honest to God, that's what they look like. They was like hopping up out of this thing that was all slick black, looked like they was wearing like leather jumpers and shit.
So sexual fetish ENEs.
I'm just shooting you straight here. This is what what my eyes were telling me. This is what they looked like. They was all covered in black, looked slick, shiny.
All right.
It was tough as nails, man. I mean, we was putting shot after shot into them. It seemed like incendiary rounds were about the only thing that seemed to put them down for good. But one of these suckers, he popped up. He started levitating. He was flying, but flying in place. You know what I'm saying? And the whole was like bucking and churning.
The King.
Yeah,
the Edwin H. Gott.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you aware of how many tons that ship was? And as I remember the weather report, it wasn't very windy, weren't very high swells.
That is true. That is correct, sir. Yeah. I have been on on board amphibious assault craft, and it ain't nearly big. And I've seen it handle much rougher waters with much less activity. So, yeah, it wasn't the water that was causing this thing to be bucking to and fro out the water. It was.
Are you aware of what it was?
I'm thinking it was whatever this floating Gimp was.
The floating gimp.
Yeah, he come up out the hold, right? And
Hmm.
he was he was kind of like a floating there. And uh, Tommy can corroborate. He had beat on him. He put a 50 caliber round straight through center mass.
Are
And
you with Tommy right now as you're doing this?
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, he would say, yeah, I put rounds through it. My rounds didn't do anything. It went right through it, and it wasn't even phased.
yeah. See, Tommy was right there. I saw. I was even closer. Tommy was at the bow of the ship. I was about mid deck when I saw this round, and it literally passed right through him like he was like a hologram or something. Like like when Tupac came back and he went on that one time, but it wasn't Tupac. It was like a laser, and so this thing was like this laser gimp that was floating there. He was doing some sort of mumbo jumbo, and the whole ship was a bucking. And then all of a sudden, just quick like a hiccup, he done disappeared. And that was it. All them other gimps, they just kind of washed away.
Okay.
Pretty, pretty standard day for Valkyrie folk.
Okay, so if they washed away, tell me again about the evidence that you guys had that forced you to scuttle the ship.
Yeah, so we went and we started to interview the crew members. We were checking for any types of injuries. Like TFV training gives a little bit of in the little how-to videos like how to check for you know demonic possessions and whatnots. And so we was doing that. Finn was really kind of in charge of that. We was flashlighting them, all that kind of business. Um, it seemed like they was okay. We couldn't find no marks on them, but at the same time, they seemed to be all kind of foggy in the head. So we knew we needed to get them off the ship. Uh, so we dropped the life rafts, the lifeboats, and got the crew off, got them back to the armory there at Sheboygan, and then yeah, we scuttled the ship just to make sure, whatever was happening on there. I mean, it was definitely there was some very strong E&E presence there, some kind of stuff. I mean, honestly, sir, it was the likes of which I can only say I've felt once before, and that was at Garfield Park.
Mm. So it was that strong. It was Garfield Punk. Garfield Punk.
Garfield Park. Not to be confused with CM Punk.
Yeah.
Garfield Punk just like got Gimp.
God damn.
Yeah, no, it was something like that. It was mass chaos, confusion. Um, and I don't know if Cascades checked in with y'all yet, but I bet they can corroborate, what was going on as far as these. I mean, they might have a better idea as to what they were. I mean, I'm just a working man. I mean, they don't look like little, slick black fellers to me. They might have a name for them.
Slick black fellers.
Like I call them because that's what they don't look like. But I don't know. Maybe Cascade's got a better handle on it than I do.
Okay.
But yeah, that's we was wondering now. Now it seemed like when the floating one, when he done disappeared, like all the rest of them just kind of like washed away, like into like water. So we're trying to figure out now, like what Valkyrie has as far as what's our next plan of action. Sir?
I was going to ask you, what kind of did you get any leads from your encounter on the ship?
No, unfortunately, we done searched the ship too before we scuttled her. We searched it bow to stern, trying to find anything. All we found was them little metal pellets, little BBs. That's it. I mean, unless it was done buried in there, there weren't shit to find. Now, our initial intel had said there was supposed to be some sort of something on board that was going to be some powerful thing, and so that's what we was looking for initially. I don't know. maybe it was that gimp that floated up, disappeared. I don't know. Maybe it was a person. I was kind of thinking it might be something like, some sort of Indiana Jones Ark of the Covenant shit. But we didn't find that, so yeah, so we sunk the boat.
So we sunk the
No Ark,
Okay.
sink it.
Anything to report after that? How did you get off of the boat?
Yeah, like I said, we lowered the lap boats, made our way to shore from there. We rendezvoused, brought the all the crew. Happy to report there was 0 crew casualties throughout all of this. Got them all off the boat safely, and brought them to the Sheboygan Armory. So that's the one bright spot in this.
Well, that's a success. Yeah, no crew killed nor injured.
Yes, sir. Now, when we was making our way back from Sheboygan back to Chicago, we did have a run-in with, well, I can only assume they'd be some sort of pack of werewolves, some wolf men. Seemed like it was all on motorcycles. Some
Werewolves riding motorcycles.
yeah, I don't know.
What's this world coming to? I mean,
That
Yeah.
person thought it might be just some local gang of, rednecks trying to, pick on us, knowing that we was probably from out of town. But they done run us off the road, and once we did, yeah, we started hearing the howling. And I done dealt with that more than once. So we actually we did have a very limited firefight in the woods. There was no civilians about, and we exfilled out the area as soon as we possibly could. I don't believe there was any casualties on any side. I was looking around to see if I could find something to bring back, some sort of evidence. But they either grabbed their wounded and helped them off the field, or yeah.
But what are you thinking their mission was?
I'm guessing them wolves. They must have shit. I don't know if there was a local sect, chapter, whatever it is. If they did,
I'm thinking that they weren't coming after you because they're locals and you're out of towners. I don't think that you were there long enough to have that kind of an influence.
yeah, we was at this one bar. It had the coolest mural on the side. It had like, and he was like, he was coming out the water, and then like,
Who's this?
that one guy from the movie, from the pirate movie, the Disney one, but not the ride, the other one. Anyway, we were there. They had good cheese fries. It was good, but I think they might have made us there, and that's why they was thinking, oh, hey, here's some out of towners that we can go pick on.
cheese
But then
pirate, cheese pirate.
cheese pirates, pirates. But I don't know. I mean, you probably got better intel than I do. I mean, far as I can tell, as soon as we got off the ship, we we'll make our way back Chicago way, and that's when they done show up on the 6, start bailing us pretty much as soon as we left the city.
Yeah, I might ought have done did.
Done did. I mean, we was fixing to, but
All right. What is your plan for the next day? For the next 24 hours, 72 hours, next week?
I think in the coming day, we're gonna try to gather as much intel as we can about them dogs that jumped us on the way out of Sheboygan there.
Okay.
And then probably next thing we're fixing to do is figure out this Matt. This I mentioned him in an earlier report. We done had some conversations, some talking back and forth with this guy who lived down in the sewers underneath Chicago, and
You said Mac?
Max.
Max?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know how old he is, but he does seem pretty powerful. Did some sort of crazy fucking, I don't know what, did some shit in my brain. I'm good now, but fuck me up. Yeah, Coors Zone. I'm right. So
You did some shit in your brain.
yeah, it was it's hard to explain. It was like I was seeing shit that wasn't there. It was like I ain't never done no none of them hippie drugs, none of that acid shit.
Hmm.
But it's like what I heard, like them hippies talk about like a bad trip. It was like I was seeing shit that wasn't there. So,
Hmm.
so
Okay.
yeah. I'd like to find
So
out.
you're going to investigate a vampire suspicion?
Yeah, well, investigate. Terminate.
Investigate, terminate. All
Six
right.
of one, half a dozen of the other. I mean, it's pretty standard stuff. But I was also hoping you might be able to give us some direction as far as who this Max is. We also heard that there's another bloodsucker here in Chicago named he goes by Maxwell, some Maxwell Clark.
Interesting.
Yeah, and if you know him, he's got some feather-haired fucker that works for him named Garrett. And if you know anything about that guy either,
A feather-haired fucker.
yeah, he's like looks like one of these kind of tan fucking Miami Vice pretty boys, and yeah, his name's Garrett. He seems like he's a.
All right, I'm going to have you stand down on that.
Which sir?
So you're getting a little bit out of your scope. You're going to need to stay in your lane. Any kind of activities that happen with these werewolves and these vampires, you should bring this information straight up to me. Right
sir.
as you get it.
Yes, sir. This just happened.
You understand how your lane is occult and demon possession.
Yes, sir.
We have other teams who are just like yourself and Tommy, who are working on the vampire and the werewolf activities in Chicago.
Yes, sir. Roger that. Yeah.
So you bring that information to me. So do you know where in the sewers that this Max was?
Would I be able to like draw a map, do you think, or would I be able to? I mean, I remember it was under the somewhere.
I mean, if you're gonna do an intelligence check,
I just bring out a map of the United States, do a big circle around the Midwest, and put an X. See, somewhere here.
So, well, you were at the Garfield Park area when you had that overwhelming urge to go into the, I forget what it is, kind of like a museum-ish kind of place.
Yeah. Wasn't it like
It was like an arboretum.
Yeah, arboretum, observatory,
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and you went in there and you found a way to get into the tunnels, and then you spent like 45-ish minutes, like just kind of like hitting different. You did beeline as much as possible through the tunnels.
Yeah.
So what you would be able to do is you could be like, so if you start at Garfield Park and you do about a 45-minute walk in a specific direction, that's the circle.
Okay.
And found it.
I mean, I could probably, or I don't know, but could I at least tell him, like, yes, in the Garfield Park Arboretum, there is a entrance that will lead down into, service tunnels that then lead to the sewers.
Yep.
So I can tell him that then as well. So not specifics, but at least a good starting point. Like,
yep, there's something there.
Yeah.
You bet.
Cool. Yeah, I will definitely let him know. Hey, yeah, that's
okay. That's good information. And I might have, you may be contacted by our team that works with vampires on this if they need more information, and I would expect you to cooperate with them fully.
Oh, absolutely, yes, sir. Yeah, it seems like we wouldn't trying to get ourselves all tangled up in this shitstorm. It just seems like it keeps on finding us. So
Yep.
that's why I was wondering, hey, if certainly don't want to be stepping on nobody else's toes out here. If there's somebody else who's should be looking out for this, or fuck, even needs a hand, because like I said, these motherfuckers seem to just keep on finding me. So
Right. All right. Well, good work on that. I thank you for your report, and at this time, I would say that you have earned, probably 3-day pass. So R&R, do whatever you want to do. Do not follow up on this Max thing, nor any kind of idea about finding out who these werewolves are.
But sir,
I have the
someone out there
information.
that needs killing.
I will take your information and I will send it up to the people who specialize in this area, just as I will send you any information that they could when it comes to cults and demonic possessions.
yes, sir. I will definitely let you know first thing if I have any more run-ins with them. Again, I ain't looking for this shit. Like I said, it just keeps on finding me. So, but I will definitely let you know, because if you got some groups out there that are looking for these motherfuckers, just tell them to stick on my 6, because they'll find them soon enough.
All right, good work, Agent.
Affirmative.
All right, and Floyd is still eating cereal.
So Floyd's plan, like, I don't know how, he kind of checks in. So he's eating and he kind of stumbles into Jeb and Tommy, reporting, and interrupts. And he's like, "Hey guys, so like, what's the plan for the next few days? Because like, I'd be cool for a while and did some R, like I gotta fix my truck. I gotta go walk my dog. My guild is past 5. Need me to help them out with the."
Yeah, well, hey, you're in luck there, buddy. Seems like we done good. Government is very happy with our service.
Sweet.
We done earned ourselves a weekend pass, so you can do your whatever it is you do, your dog walking, your
Dog walking, yep.
your cereal eating, all that good shit that
Oh hell yeah! It's like I got
happy.
a good stash here on the boat, but as much as I love this boat, I'm a little tired of boats right now, and I got a lot better food at my place, and so I'm just about done with breakfast here, and then I'm just gonna head on back home. So just like ring me up when we're ready to go again. All right, like in, I don't know, a week.
Yeah, you bet, buddy. It might be a little bit sooner than that, but yeah, we'll hey, and if I don't want to cramp your style too much, but while you're typing away there on the interwebs, if you can find out any more information on these vampires, this Maxwell and Max.
Oh yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, find out about them, and oh yeah, and then these Sheboygan werewolves, fucking Sheboygan werewolves.
Nah, trust me, I'm tired of being dicked around like this. I plan to hunker down, and when I'm not doing my raids and gearing up and getting my eye level higher, then yeah, I'll do some research.
Pumping some iron, yeah, that's right. Getting on the range, putting fucking lead downfield. Hell yeah, yeah, I hear you, buddy.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm gonna be gearing doing the eye level gear. But
Getting some
anyway,
purples.
yeah, getting my epic and my legendary cloak going.
But, yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Like, way behind. I got 3 alts and they're like not even at 120 yet.
I don't even know if that's English.
All right, so yeah, you guys are good.
Mic on.
I'm getting out of here. Bye bye.
Cool.
So Floyd, so his main plans is kind of recuperate just from get some sleep in from the lost sleep from being up all night. But then after that, his first priority is to fix any damage his truck took. So get his truck back into optimal condition, and then he's gonna go as far down the route. He's gonna go down the rabbit hole as far as he can on Max and Maxwell and what the deal is with those two, Father Albright, and those weird that foreign language thing that we found.
Oh, that's right. That Finnish or Norse.
Yeah, that Finnish thing.
Opstar.
So he's just gonna go. He's gonna go full conspiracy nut crazy. Trying to gather as much information as he can on those specific subjects.
Okay.
Because like his whole thing, he's coming from is he's tired of being dicked around and he wants to be in the driver's chair. So
I want to be a shot caller.
and he's gonna try not to get too distracted by World of Warcraft and Japanese erotic anime, or not, or non-erotic.
Hey. Tentacle porn.
Mic off.
Why I know that.
Mic on.
Do you switch back and forth between the two?
You know that the only reason that you know that is because of Cards Against Humanity. Otherwise, I would have no idea what hentai nor bukkake are.
Sure. And if you believe that, I got a bridge to sell you.
Okay, Akono, you get to your destination. I'm going to need to break for just a second, though.
Okay.
Before we get into your destination.
Uh-oh.
So AFK under 5.
He needs a break before he deals with you, Akono.
You're right.
My beverage is empty, so I need to get a new something. Oh, what do you got?
Go get a new something.
Who would ever look? It's got malt profile, hop profile, and drinkability. Who would ever, in their right mind, under drinkability, put like 1 star?
Well, and not only that, so it's got no malt, it's got no hops. So
Yet somehow it's massively drinkable.
Well, what is that thinks national standard? And it's got a big state of
Mic off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top
Is it-
brewery.
Is it good? I don't know. It's got a picture of Texas on it, so it must be good.
It is brewed in, I don't know, light American ale, brewed in, it says Go Texan. Oh, McKinney, Texas. I don't know where McKinney is.
So it's basically just Coors Light, but with Texas.
Instead of Colorado, yes.
Is there a picture of a gun on it anywhere?
I'm looking. There probably is. Wait.
There's definitely got to be a star, right? There's a star.
Yeah.
The only thing Texans like more than guns and the shape of Texas is stars.
Stars. Yes. 5-pointed stars because they're on like.
Yeah.
Are big and bright.
In the heart of Texas.
You can always tell someone's a Texan. A star, the shape of Texas, although that's a giveaway, and guns.
Make sure you include that in the video for my son.
Oh yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I totally meant to
Bring
do
the booze
that.
up. No, he's got more than a few days.
Okay, cool.
my son got Texas as his state that he has to report on. He was shooting for New York, got Texas.
Ah,
And I was like, we know some really cool people from Texas. So
oh yeah, yeah. I could throw in there.
I know a tattoo artist, someone who deals with rescue animals, and an FBI agent from Texas.
Nice.
So
I actually have a friend who's she works for the FBI. She's like she does all the vetting for like contacts and suppliers and potential people. She's basically the Floyd of the FBI world.
yeah, we have a really close friend from where I grew up, Bemidji, Minnesota, who is now an FBI agent in Texas. So
That's right. It's like the man from Texas once said to his son, said, "Son, you never have to ask a man if he's from Texas, because if he is, he'll tell you. There's no need to embarrass him."
I know that's like that joke. How can you tell if someone's a vegan?
guess I'll tell you.
They'll tell you. Don't worry,
Yeah.
they'll tell you.
They'll tell you. Hmm.
Or how many hipsters does it take to change a light bulb?
Oh, I've heard this one. I can't remember though.
It's a really obscure number. You probably not heard of
Oh,
My game
Yeah.
snack.
oh.
Just
bad.
opened it. Just
Not
opened it.
crab chips.
Not okay.
Floyd would know.
What?
Floyd would be like, "Ooh, is it lobster season already?"
That's cruel.
Come on, runs to Red Lobster.
All right.
New Yorkers know what that is, and
Mhm.
our pets that I want some.
Just anybody from the East Coast, DC, Philly.
Mm.
All right, so you're walking Okono. You take the L
Mic on.
to the area of Chicago that you were destined to go to. You get off on a spot that feels good, like accurate, appropriate
Okay.
to what you're wanting to do.
Yeah, I'm pretty much heading back to the mushroom patch
Okay.
because it's the only real place that I remember and associate with them.
Hmm.
I don't know where they stay.
It's kind of a shipyardish kind of. It's kind of like a stockyard.
There's animals.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna bring it up right quick.
Okay.
No. Okay.
Oh my goodness, there's actually a heart of Chicago.
Oh.
I cut it.
It slaps you.
So right near the place where I'm
Oh,
getting off the L train,
yeah.
a Total Staffing Solutions Bridgeport, I think,
Yep, I see it. Yep.
and then it should be just kind of right north of there.
Yep. Yep. Up Ashland.
Yep. Okay.
And then I believe it was. Let me see here. Yeah. So where you see like the FedEx ground. And was it there?
Oh. Is that Penny?
Yep, that's Penny.
Mic off.
Penny cat, Penny cat.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have it in that area. It's kind of like near the FedEx ground, the Damon silos. But where you guys were, I mean, it's different now. But kind of like where the boat launch motor-eed is, or the cool art for Pix area. Like that's kind of the spot where you guys, where you ran into them the first time. So you're in that area and you're kind of walking around. You know, is there anything that you're going to be doing, like specifically anything that you want to intentionally
Mic on.
do to achieve what you're wanting to?
I've got the feather. I'm
Okay.
going to just grasp onto it and put out an emotion of wanting to connect.
Okay.
This is that hippie LSD shit that Jed was talking about.
That's why I stay away from that. I don't want to end up like a Kono.
Yeah. My buddy Red. I mean, his name ain't Red, but you know he's Indian, so we just call him Red. And
Fucking white people.
Fucking white people. Is that not true?
I might oughta done did fucking white people.
I might ought to have to go over there and fix him to whoop my ass.
All right.
Mic
put it out
off.
there, and you get a vibe back. That says, kind of gives you the impression of be patient, wait
Mic on.
for a second, for a bit. And you do
Mic
kinda look
off.
around. You do get a feeling of being directed and guided
Mic on.
into a little bit of a more wooded area. It's not real big, but the the wooded area that is on the south of the power lines.
South of power lines.
Yep. By it's to the east of Southwestern Avenue and north of Stevenson, the 55.
Okay, I've got
East of
Stevenson
what?
Expressway. And from the corner of 90 and 90 are in 55 or Stevenson Expressway. Archer runs parallel.
Yeah. So if you see the if you're on Google Maps and it says cool art for Pix.
I don't see that. I don't see where that is.
Okay.
I've got the Duck Inn. I've got the Sugar Shack. I've got Maria's Package.
These all
Goods.
sounds very like naughty.
I know, right?
Do you see
Freddy's
the
Italian Eatery?
you see the FedEx ground
No,
factory?
I don't see that either.
Okay.
I got
FedEx.
Amazon delivery station. I got Chicago International Produce Market.
La Bodega.
No, I saw La Papala. Buffalo wings. I mean, I think they're just showing us different stuff based on.
Yeah, probably.
something random.
Okay, so it's Southwestern Avenue and 55. So if you take the 55, there's a bridge that is Southwestern Avenue.
Okay, Southwestern Avenue. I see it. It's actually runs north-south.
Yep, and if you look at the northeast corner of that, there's a little wooded area,
Okay, a little green.
and that's where you're guided to.
Okay.
Don't forget to stop by the ATM at the Fifth Third Bank.
Oh, I do see. I do have that. That's just
Well, there
north
you
of
go.
La Papala.
But he doesn't have a credit card or an ATM card or.
No way to use it.
Okay. So you get there, and you kind of wait patiently. You look around for some mushrooms. You don't find any mushrooms at all.
Richard J. Daley Park.
Yep. That was
Mic off.
that's kitty corner to the train tracks.
Mic on.
I see those now. Cool art for pics. Now I see that.
Okay.
It's a tiny. I would have never seen that unless I zoomed in a whole lot.
Yeah, I thought that where you guys ran into the homeless guys and went into the sewer was like right around here. I might be wrong though.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Thought
It's
it was,
here
though.
A little further north. That's what I thought was where it was.
It could have been. Anyway, so you get there and you're waiting around, and then
Mic off.
the woman who was with you guys, who you had met initially, she pulls up, driving a vehicle, gets up,
Mic on.
and she's basically, she basically just kind of like walks up to you. She parked at the SageNet Space Net and walks like across the train tracks. And yeah, you see her.
I'll approach her. Greetings. It has been long since we have talked.
And a lot has happened since.
Indeed. Do you have any idea of the nature of the entity that was aboard the Edwin H. Gott?
Kono, what I can tell you is I don't know what's happened in the last 24 hours, but there is something strong. There's something strong in my kind that has changed.
What does this change you mean?
Puberty.
I can sense you in a way that I could not before.
I would take a shower.
I know that you are what
Mic
you
off.
are without you needing to tell me.
Mic on.
I need to fight back the urge to not attack you.
Interesting. Why?
That has never been there before.
Mic off. Mic on.
Don't know why that is.
When exactly did that change occur?
When I woke up today. I woke up today and I had that feeling. I wanted to do violence. I don't have that feeling towards my kind. So all I can tell you right now is you need to be careful of my kind because there's something different. You know,
Would you say that what has happened is from the spirit realm?
I have Lewis and A2 journeying and trying to find information, some of it from the spirit realm, to figure out where this is coming from. You, as we've told you before, you are of the wolf kind. We feel a connection to you, and yet because we know that you can change reality, we want to destroy you.
Well,
We also have that towards the fanged ones,
the what?
towards the bloodsuckers, the serpents.
Okay. So what can be done?
No telling what can be done right now. This is all very, very new, very different. And I don't think that we should have this conversation longer than we need to. What I can tell you is that you should know that our kind are going to be coming for you.
That's not great news at all. Is there any way we can speak? Perhaps can I get them digits?
What are you meaning?
Your phone number. Can I get your phone number?
Yeah, you can. She goes into her little thing, pulls out pen and bubblegum wrapper or something, you know.
If
Writes
it's
some shit down.
No, if it's 555, we know it's fake.
And yeah, she gives you her number. She just writes it down. No name, no anything on it, just a number.
We will speak again, perhaps not in person.
She said, I felt you in danger last night.
That is because I was in danger last night.
You need that van.
We heard you call out. We did some searching. There is
I need that van.
I don't know who it is, but I know that there's a pack that is hunting you. I don't know if it's you or if it's someone who is in your pack, but there's a very specific pack that is hunting you.
What do you know about this pack?
I know that they are not of
Chicks with dicks.
I'm all for that about.
they are not of Mother Luna.
What does that mean? I'm a bit ignorant.
You probably would not understand. Perhaps when we are through this and we are both in different places, I can explain more. But
well, what can you tell me?
no,
that it is,
the children of Mother Luna have a very different agenda on how we treat the world. Those who are only of the Father stand apart from us.
And what's their view on how to treat the world?
I cannot say more.
What would be significant enough about them being different than you that would warrant you telling me?
Consider them to be more violent, more reckless,
I see.
more they are not friend nor ally of us. we have our own little inner discrepancies. Theirs are a world apart from ours.
I see. Well, I appreciate the warning. Is there anything that we can do about them having Tommy's scent?
I don't know of this Tommy scent.
They have a pack of wolves. Oh no, it wasn't his scent. That's right. Wasn't it his soul? Tommy got his soul?
Tether, I think was what they had said.
Yeah.
Not that I'm there, but
Yeah, I'm trying
I'm
to
thinking
remember what.
Kono probably knows more about this shit than I do. But I remember you saying originally. I think it was some sort of like a soul tether.
Yeah, some sort of soul tether.
Not that I'm listening.
Yeah. I can remember it was something about his soul, or
Yeah.
it was his scent, and I had gotten it wrong. That's why I can remember it, is because I had been thinking it was the one thing, and it in fact was the other. So, Coobs, which one was that?
She looks at you in all seriousness and she says, I don't know who this Tommy is, but it is your essence that they are hunting.
Oops! Did we think that it was the wrong person this whole time? We're like, we gotta hide Tommy. The whole time Red's just like, oh, do.
It's your essence they've been hunting the whole time.
And why is it that they're hunting my essence?
Your essence resonates in a way that draws moth to light.
So I glow in the dark.
And whatever has happened to you in the last 24 hours, it has magnified that by tenfold.
Interesting. And potentially very dangerous for everyone. You're right for two reasons that we shouldn't be having this conversation so close together right now. With that, I will bid you adieu. And I will get as far away from you as I can.
I will be looking out for you, as close to you as I dare come.
We can speak. I'll call you later, and you can have my number. You don't have to answer. I'll just send. Do you have a smartphone there?
I do.
I'll send you a text.
It's 2017.
18.
I just got my first phone.
Welcome. And with that,
Is it
oh
2007?
no, I believe it's 17,
I thought it was 18, but I could be wrong.
Could be
17, 18.
We might have been playing this for 3 years already.
It could have be.
Could have been 3, could have been 2, not sure.
I'm just kind of like.
I think it's been 3.
It might have been. I don't remember.
Very well could be.
Jesus,
All right.
There's probably a
Jesus,
timestamp
I'll
there. we
take
could look at.
2017. I'll take it.
No, I've been at my current
Okay.
job now for over 2 years, and we started when I was at my job before this one, which was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Here.
I'll take 2017. That's fine. Fall 2017.
There was texting in 2017.
Yep,
Mm-hmm. Sure
yeah.
was.
lots of it.
Oh god, yeah.
Sex thing.
Since like 1997. So
Well, yeah, but it has changed. Like so real world speak. Like the job that I'm in, we do surveys for companies. So Burger King wants to know how people like their hamburgers and fries. They get a survey on their phone and stuff. So we've been doing this for like ever, and it's just been in the past 3 years that surveys people used to take surveys on their computers, like laptops, desktop stuff. The majority of people did it on their computers. It's only been in the last 3 years that it changed from the majority computer to the majority phone. And 3 years ago it was like 50-50. 2 years ago it was like 60-40 phone to computer. Last year it was like 70-30, and so yeah, it's like, I mean, mobile phones, they, we've been able to like access the internet and do text messages and stuff, but the whole like concept of people playing games on them and everything that people do with them is actually way more recent than anyone.
Yeah.
Like, you think it was years and years ago, but it's really
It's really not.
it's only been in with like the last 12 months, really.
Well.
Anyways, side note.
That's real. With all the work that's getting done on my house, I can't have someone show up here without them either having me do a survey on their iPad that they have, or with them leaving and me getting a survey request via text message in like the next 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Paying for my dinner.
That's real.
Oh, yeah.
On another note, I so wish we could print the Hunter comms on Twitch, because me and Jeb have been going back and forth.
I'm catching up right now.
You can. You just have to stream yourself.
It's a bunch of anti-government / pro-government /
Yeah,
Or Coobs,
Why
you could just give me
fucking
HunterCom
crazy
access
things
since I
as long
can
as
get
it
on it.
it's Jeb.
Whoa.
It's Jeb going on about how great Task Force Valkyrie is, and Floyd going on about how it's just a government organization that's out to make the Rothschilds more wealthy.
Who, by the way, are aliens, as everybody fucking knows.
After I finish that conversation with She-Wolf, I'm
Joanna.
I will head towards Mosca's place.
Okay.
Wasn't that the sequel to Teen Wolf? Teen Wolf 2, She-Wolf?
Yep.
That was Jason Bateman.
She-Wolf!
Don't you talk down on
Teen Wolf.
Jason
Fun.
Bateman.
That's another movie we could have the kids watch. Teen Wolf. Oh, I bet fucking those Disney cocksuckers took out the fucking scene where he was surfing on the top of the van.
Did they really?
Oh, they did not.
I bet they. I bet they did. Did you hear the latest shit? What they did? Splash. The movie Splash.
Mic off.
Yep.
Fuck them. Fuck
What
them.
What did they take out?
So in there is a split-second scene in Splash where Daryl Hannah runs. She's running into the ocean and she dives in,
Yeah.
and you can see her bare ass. So they CGI'd fucking hair, and it looks so bad. It looks
Really?
like Burt Reynolds' mustache planted on.
And maybe it was. Maybe it was.
Wow,
Really.
that's terrible.
It probably was. And I mean, but it's just like, it was, they were just like, seriously? You're going to go and retcon Daryl Hannah's fucking ass? Seriously? After 35 years. Okay. Like, it obviously scarred so many of us.
My kids experience and hear worse things every day in this house.
Oh, Christ, yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
But it's like, oh my God, if they see Daryl Hannah's butt,
Oh, yeah.
honestly,
It's like, boring.
okay,
Yeah.
you've seen your sisters and your moms and mine, unfortunately.
Yeah, I hate the mouse.
Here's Daryl Hannah's. That's probably more pleasant.
Mhm.
Keep
Oh,
that
yeah,
in mind
right.
when you think of butt.
Yeah, that was like Daryl Hannah in her prime, but and they went and ruined it. Fuck you, Disney.
I still don't know if
Seriously.
Disney has been lobbying the Supreme Court to extend the
Copyright
copyrights on their stuff for years and years,
Get it.
decades at this point.
God, they own and they own
Like 50 years they've been getting it changed.
Yeah.
Oh
They are so greedy.
Get this.
Oh, yeah,
They own my entire childhood.
oh yeah.
Muppets.
Well, and like I was telling this to a guy he's a very much like a Tea Party. He's like, well, yeah, but I mean, Disney fucking, that's his hard work. And I'm like, yeah, and he's been dead for like 50 years.
They own
Like
own
fucking
the Muppets.
Beethoven, Chopin, fucking Mozart, all that shit is now public domain.
Mhm.
Muppets, Marvel,
Yep.
Those two things huge in my childhood.
Star
Yeah.
Wars.
Star Wars,
Yep.
gigantic in my childhood. They
Mhm.
own
All of it.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Do they really?
Let that settle in, people.
Right? Yeah.
They
How in the
own that to the point where I was like, let's see who owns the rights to the radio plays. Disney actually bought the rights to the radio plays in the process of making the movie through Touchstone.
Oh, right. Which is like their
So I
PG-13.
wanted to do an American reading of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I would have to approach Disney.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
and they're fucking ruthless. They will go after like little mom and pop Etsy shops,
They own
because,
every. They own
right? Because they try to do like a little, hey, here's a little Mickey Mouse soap dispenser that I made, and they will come and fucking cease and desist your ass.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They
I
will
remember-
spend $75,000 on lawyers to make sure that you don't make $25.
Yeah, I remember reading a story about some little company that they produced something that had some minor resemblance to one Disney character, and the people who made it, they had no intention of doing it. They didn't even realize, and no one really associated with that. But Disney was like, "That's too close to a resemblance to this character, so cease and desist. You have to stop all production." Like, we're not trying to copy. We're not trying to take any. This doesn't have anything to do with your character. This is a totally unrelated thing. It just looks kind of like a dopey dog. Like that's
Yeah.
the only thing. And they're
Yeah.
like, nope,
It's
nope, cease and desist.
it's
And
coincidental that it looks like Pluto.
we have
There's a lot
billions-
of yellow dogs with black ears.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have billions of dollars invested in the courts, and they will destroy you. And so they were forced to change. And it's like, yeah,
They are
That's why I
everything
love
that
guys
is.
like Banksy.
Capitalism is
Like-
good and it works, and Disney makes it seem just shit. They're like the worst shit about, corporate American capitalism.
Right. Or if
And
you're a fan of
copyright-
capitalism,
And God bless copyright.
exactly what it should.
What's that?
Copyright is crucial. Like, it's awesome. Like, it makes me happy that
Mhm.
I have purchased copyright for a lot of the things that I own.
Right.
Things that I've written and are
Sure.
mine. And I've
Yeah,
copied.
and that should be protected.
yeah.
and
And once
that's
you're
fabulous.
gone,
And I'm so glad that like if somebody tried to encroach on my shit, I can say, hey, it's official. I can show you the paperwork.
Right.
I own this.
Right.
Right. That's fabulous. Now
This is the extent of my sense of propriety.
Yes.
right.
But when you've been dead for 70 years,
right.
when yeah, it's like
I would love to think, because heaven knows anything I've written now is not going to make me rich. Like anything I've written now, God hope it makes my kids rich. But if
Right.
it doesn't make my kids rich, it's certainly not going to make my grandkids rich. So
unless
open that,
So-
open that shit
100
up.
years from now, you finds out that Alan Steele is like the most prophetic author of the.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the next Shakespeare.
He predicted
So,
everything.
Have any of you guys watched the Ryan Reynolds director producer narratives for
No.
the Deadpool movies?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so if you have those on DVD, you can watch the movie where they're like just commentating throughout the whole thing. And so the opening scene of Deadpool 2, it's when he has his mask halfway up, he's got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth and he lights it. They said that scene was put in there strictly because this was going to be the last Deadpool movie before Disney bought out all of Marvel. And Disney has, for like the last 20 some years or something like that, they will never show anybody lighting a cigarette or smoking. So they did that just to frickin' shove it in their face. They're like, look at this. Deadpool
Yep.
lighting a fucking cigarette, first scene of the movie, as a fuck you to Disney.
Mhm.
Ryan Reynolds is such my hero
Oh
throughout.
God, yeah.
Like that
Yeah,
dude.
him and the Peloton Aviation Gin fucking crossover. That shit was fucking genius.
The
What's
Holy
that?
shit.
fact that that man can just step forward and say, like, whatever he says out of his mouth, like he has carte blanche to just
Oh, yeah.
say
Whatever.
shit across the board, and people will just adjust and shift around to Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Even Hugh Jackman, poor dude.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, and he is genius. I mean, like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't think I would have never heard of Aviation Gin had it not been for him taking advantage of that fucking the Peloton commercial that got fucking crucified.
Ah!
You know, where I don't know if you guys saw that, but Peloton makes these like exercise bikes,
Mhm.
and there was the commercial where it's like the woman, she's like, oh my gosh, my husband got me this bike so I could lose the extra 3 pounds, blah 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 blah, and women's groups just fucking went up and they just
Oh, I bet.
they were just absolutely fucking livid.
How nice of your husband.
And yeah, and so he jumps on it and he hires
Basically,
the woman.
Jeb, if you were going to make a computer. What was that?
Aviation Gin commercial, yeah. It's fucking brilliant. Yeah, and it has her, and then she's sitting there with all of her girlfriends, and she just they all pour the Aviation Gin, and she goes, well, to new beginnings. And it's just like, yeah, fucking brilliant.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Cashing in.
Ugh.
All right, so Kono, you end up leaving Joanna. Joanna takes off. You guys swap digits.
Mic on.
Yeah, and then I'll head to Masca's house, and I don't know if the L would be the most direct route, or if there's a walking. I don't know how far. I don't
You
remember
know,
where Masca's is.
you're pretty close to the loop right now. Well, yeah, you're pretty much in the loop, man.
Mic off.
Eh.
Mic on.
Okay, well, I'll head back to Masca's, and then I'll call Floyd, because he's the guy that gave me the phone. So I have
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I have everybody's number, but I know I've got his.
Yep, you do. All right. So yeah, you're taking off. At this point, we're looking at, it's like Friday afternoonish. Traffic starting to hit. Things are getting a little bit busy. Crowded streets. No social distancing because 3 years ago. And you ring. So Floyd, what is your ringer?
Well, so what time is he calling me on Friday?
It's about 4:30ish.
Okay, so I'm awake then. 'Cause I was
You're
gonna say,
probably
I'm
waking
probably
up. Yeah.
I'm probably eating my second bowl of cereal. So
Yeah. What are you
Um,
watching on the TV?
Oh, I'm not watching anything at this point in time. I would be browsing the sites, seeing some general information, what's going on out there.
Okay.
Nothing serious yet. I mean, just kind of general info. Look, like I'll deep dive into the serious stuff in the coming days, but for now, just doing getting the surface level stuff. But yeah, so I see it's a Kono, so I pick up. I'm like, yo, man, what's up, dude?
Hey, just wanted to let you guys know that it's not Tommy that these wolves are after, it's me. So I'm thinking that that could potentially be used. I could potentially be used as bait.
Huh? They're after you. What? Hold on a sec. Call me back at this number, and then I text you a different number. I say this is a little bit more of a secure line.
Okay. Boop, 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 boop.
Really dramatic.
Right, so
It's
I have him call in through my more secured laptop line. I'm like, all right, these guys are after you. How you know this, and like why are they after you?
Don't know why. Because Joanna, the friendly werewolf, told me.
Sounds like a show.
There are no friendly werewolves.
That's not exactly true.
There's only werewolves that are last on the list to kill.
Hanging
That's
out
not-
with the
that's not
task
funny.
force Valkyrie.
Not
Yeah.
funny.
Is Tommy rubbing off on you, or
Werewolves who are on this. I don't believe that.
The spirit of intolerance flows into Floyd.
ooh, close-minded he is?
They ain't human anymore. Maybe we can let them live, but not around us.
Well,
Put him in a ghetto
Anyways, so
before the concentration camps, werewolf camps.
so the so-called friendly werewolf said they were after you, and didn't say why.
they couldn't. I don't know why, but that was the most I could say, was that it was my essence that they were hunting. And then it was the werewolves that are not of Luna. So I don't know if that, is anything you are familiar with, but perhaps if not, you can look it up on your Google machine.
Not of Luna.
Yeah, and I was like, "What's that mean?" And she said, "I can't say more."
Can't say more. She can't say what they are. She can't say why they're after you. There's a lot of stuff she can't say.
She did say that these other types of werewolves are far more violent.
Of course they are, because that's exactly what she wants us to think. You really trust her?
She seems to know more about this than we do.
I feel like everyone knows more about this than we do. All right. Well, I'll kind of look it up. What's her name again?
Joanna.
Joanna. Huh. All right. Good to know. You got a safe place to stay?
Moscow's.
All right.
Bartholomew's got a pretty nice place.
All right. Well, make sure that they take extra precautions, because I'm not feeling good about any of this stuff that's going on.
Yeah, it's a little less comforting when the guillotine's hanging above your head. I was far more comfortable when I thought it was Tommy's.
Well,
I like gambling with other people's
I
money.
can understand that. All right. Well, you got my number. I can get a hold of Jeb and Tommy instantaneously if anything needs to happen instantaneously. So, first sign of any trouble at all, you let us know,
Will do.
and we'll keep you informed as well.
Very well.
All right. Thanks for calling. Thanks for the info. Stay cool, bro. Don't eat too many mushrooms.
I'll eat just the right amount.
That's my play.
So do you need that information to me and Tommy, that the tether or the link between the werewolves was not actually on Tommy but was on Red the whole time?
He gives you Floyd's version of that, which is so supposedly.
Red just called. He was talking a bunch of shit. I think he was on just whatever.
Well, no, it's not that.
He was on shrooms.
Floyd believes, he heard the truth, like he's taking it seriously, but Floyd's like, yeah, she said they're after him and not Tommy, but like she refused to say why, refused to say who she was. I mean, I don't trust this bitch. I don't believe what she's saying. I think they're after all of us. Either that or they got some agenda that we don't know about. Maybe they're dragging us into their own gang war.
True. Sorry, I just all of a sudden because I was like, shit, like, did he get like an insight check or something? And I'm like, fuck, why didn't I do an insight check on my call? And I'm like, do we have insight? And I'm like, is there? And so I was just looking at my sheet. I was like, insight. I have presence, manipulation, and composure. Socialize, subterfuge. Can I retroactively get it like whatever an insight check would be when I was talking to Solon, just to see if I could detect whether or not I thought he was on the level. Again, my social skills suck shit, so chances are I totally believed him.
What's insight? How do you roll insight?
I don't know.
I would say that would be a probably a witch.
Right. Okay. So would that be? So that
Witch and empathy.
With oh yeah. Okay.
Because empathy is your ability to pick up on what other people are, saying, portraying.
Right. The feeling. Yeah.
Yep. And if it were over the phone, it would probably be at a -1.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So I'll roll that one die. Which means that which means if it's one die or less, it's a chance die. Or is it a chance if it's only one?
Yeah.
I think if you have one,
you get one.
You get one. But
Right.
if you have less than one, then you can take a chance at it.
Right. All right. So I get one die.
But then you would need a 10 or it's a big fail.
If
Right.
it's a chance, yeah.
Ooh, so close.
So close.
Close, Floyd.
What was the insight that you were looking for?
I just wanted to see if I could tell if Solon was being on the level with me.
Right.
As
He was
far
being
as saying like stand down on this, like, cause I'm like telling him like, dude, like this shit's finding me. Like, you sure you want me to stand down? I'm just like bees to fucking honey. But all right, I'll do what you want.
So Floyd tells Jeb and Tommy, like, and this is over secure line as well. Like, Floyd's getting a little bit more paranoid that we're getting more spotlights on us. But yeah, he's like, Kono got some info that there's another group of dogs that call themselves. There's one group that's of Luna, and this is not of Luna. So it sounds like two gangs to me, two dog gangs. And I mean, I trust Kono definitely, but I don't trust that they're giving him complete information, especially when, they refuse to tell him why, they refuse to tell him what. So
are the not Luna ones the bad ones or the good ones?
Which one was it again?
Luna are the ones that are talking with me of Luna.
Of
and
Luna,
she said that the ones that were hunting me were not of Luna, and I asked her to clarify that, and she said she couldn't.
All right, so of Luna is the group that we have some sort of so-called friendly contact with, but I don't call it friendly. I call it in their advantage.
Wait, are you talking about the of Luna ones are the ones that were out of Sheboygan?
I don't know.
But we're here in Chicago. Of
The ones in
Luna,
Chicago.
here in Chicago.
Wait,
Yeah,
so we had contact with wait. So you're saying the not of Luna ones are the Sheboygan motherfuckers that dumped us, and the of Luna ones are the ones that we met with at Halstead and Archer. And when okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So
never been to Halstead and Archer. I feel like sometime in my life that's got to be a bucket list thing. I got to just go there and go, okay.
Dude, you know what? When I was looking at all of this, it was so close to what was it? Ping Tom Park.
Ping Tom Park, yeah.
Ping Tom Memorial Park. Like it's like maybe a mile away, and that was where I did my
pineapple.
That's right. Yeah, my little personal adventure in there.
Fuck yeah.
just outside of Chinatown. It's a pretty park.
Yeah, someday the whole unabridged chronicles of Jeb Hatfield will come out.
Oh gosh.
And they
It'll
will be
be like the next Altered Carbon.
they will be
That-
immediately they will be
that
immediately
frightens me.
banned in 43 countries.
Yeah, Disney will somehow find the copyright to it and own it, and make sure that it never sees the light of day anywhere.
So yeah, so Floyd passes the info to you, but it is a little biased, and I don't know if you'd be able to tell or not. If you're,
I more or less. I know Floyd's got his angle on things. You know, he's gonna tell it with his own particular slant. But I know you're gonna tell me the truth as far as you know it.
I mean, I give you the information I got. I just put my
Yeah.
slant on it.
Yeah.
Kono,
I
make
think
a
I trust Floyd.
make an intelligence empathy check.
Mic off.
Wits and empathy.
Mic on.
So basically, just intelligence.
It's going to be intelligence empathy,
Oh, intelligence. Mhm.
which would be intelligence -1, but that'll work too.
Oh, okay.
Okay, with as you remember the conversation that you had with Joanna, you pick up the vibe that the werewolves that were like, as you're having this conversation with Floyd, the werewolves that were out of Sheboygan were not necessarily of Sheboygan.
Okay.
That you get the impression that they were actually hunting you. Like they actually made the trip to come up after you.
Okay.
And you kind of put that together too from the messages that they were kind of sending to you via the feather.
Yeah, I remember the messages.
Yep. The messages like, you're in trouble, be careful, we're coming to help you, we're coming to protect you. And you also got the impression that they did, and they were coming up, and there were things that you are not aware of that they had done that tipped the scales in your favor. So even though all the shit that happened, you know, and the fact that it became like close calls multiple times, it would have been far worse had they not been acting in your favor.
Okay. Well, I'll be sure to clarify that next time I talk to those guys.
Write a thank you card.
No, I meant to my guys.
Yeah. With the white people.
Yeah. With my token group of white friends.
Uh-huh. That's right.
Well, I missed that. So what was the clarification? That the Sheboygan guys were maybe not necessarily from Sheboygan?
Yeah, that they most likely were coming to Sheboygan. They followed us up there. They were hunting me.
Sheboygan werewolves.
So they're probably on their way back here. Or here already.
Ooh, well that means we got something that we can kill.
And I'm having
There's
pancakes
never a
with-
lack of stuff for you to shoot at, man.
Which is why I love my place in this gang so much.
and that's why I'm really excited that I'm having pancakes and waffles. I had no idea what's happening, but they're delicious. And Sunshine loves fresh fruit, so she's gotten like peaches and like other numminess.
Okay.
Sigh.
Mark food.
I have some of that stuff. Like I ordered some really awesome chips, and they sent me like avocado chips instead.
Avocado's not bad.
That's not awesome though.
Yeah, I haven't opened it yet. I had an idea that I was going to return them at one time, and I never did.
Returning
Anyways,
chips.
they sent me the wrong chips. I wanted the voodoo chips, and they gave me avocado chips.
That's not voodoo.
Oh,
Avocado is definitely not voodoo.
Right, right. Okay. So, Akono, you passed that on to Floyd. Floyd had a conversation with Jeb. Where
Tommy.
you guys
Yeah, Ben.
and Tommy? Yep. Tommy was, yeah, he was like, well, shit, if they're not coming after me, that means I'm in a better position to go after them.
Well, Floyd's like, hey, I
high five Tommy.
Hell yeah.
Akono thinks they're coming after him and not you, but I don't know how much I believe that. I wouldn't let my guard down if I were you at all.
Well, you know, even though that they were coming after me, that never stopped me from going after them.
Good. There you go.
So the fact that they're not coming after me doesn't change anything at all. If they are still coming after me, doesn't change anything at all. I'm still going after them.
Exactly. You know what? They're coming after you, and they're coming after Jeb, and they're coming after me. And they're coming after Akono.
They're coming after America.
They're coming after that weird British idiot weirdo that somehow got into our group.
Hello. Don't say it right. You invented the word Britiot. Just say it completely out. Just say Britiot, not British idiot. All right.
Actually, I take that back. They're probably not after the Britiot because I think he makes us weaker. Well, maybe not. He does have a limo.
And like who hands out paper baggies of bullets? Who else?
I don't know.
You got them fancy bang bangs, and I ain't talking about Bunny and Sunshine either.
He's definitely after Tommy and Jeb and me and Akono. I'm not sure yet if he's after that Brady or not.
Jeb, just never say that to Bunny or Sunshine or that.
Don't worry. I would never besmirch the good names of Booby and Shoeshine.
Oh my God. You're so dead. At least your credit is because Bunny's really good on the internet. So just if your credit suddenly takes a big dive, that's the internet kick to the nuts to you. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I don't even think I exist on them internets. So
you think. Oh, the pictures I have.
So Floyd, he gets to feeling a bit more paranoid. So after he fixes his truck, which was his first priority, his instead of working from home, which he feels kind of safe at because he's rigged up a lot of security and anti-personnel stuff, but he feels more secure on the houseboat. So he'll transfer and do all of his internet conspiracy searching from the houseboat after he fixes his truck.
Okay. So the damages on your truck, you can't. A lot of it you can't just fix because you had some body damage to it.
That's fine. The body damage is okay.
And body damage, paint damage. I mean, you go through it, you know that you beat it up pretty hard, so you do like a regular maintenance. Change the plugs, change the oil, change wires and distributor cap, all that kind of stuff. You give it like a full over tune up.
Yeah.
You check the suspension. The alignment is jacked, so you're gonna.
I believe it gives it a 1 round of disadvantage to attack. Yes.
Tom Moore.
It's
bad guys.
Tom Moore. He's a mechanic at 420 North
I'm
Army
also.
Avenue.
Yeah. It is. It's. I believe it's 1 round.
He's the guy.
Marcia, does Matt wear that robe all the time around the house?
Do you wear
Roman
that robe
Adventures
all the
in
time?
Babysitting.
It's kind of new. It's like this is my seventh.
What's the actor's name?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Gomer Pyle.
What?
Yeah.
All I know,
Alan, you
is
said it right away when I showed you the picture. Yeah, I don't remember.
Are
Anyways,
you on
The guy
crack?
from who's in Law and Order now or whatever.
yeah. He played Kingpin in Daredevil.
Yes. What's his
Oh,
name? The
uh,
guy.
Vincent D'Onofrio?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
he was also the bad guy in The Cell.
Wait,
What?
Yeah.
He's like fucking Thor in Adventures in Babysitting?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Holy shit.
I threw the picture up. I threw the picture up when you guys went to him to get Floyd brought his Jeep there because he was like a personal friend mechanic. And I threw that picture up, and yeah, I'm pretty sure it was you, Alan, who just like ripped off the guy's name. So Vincent Garofalo,
Vincent
D'Onofrio,
D'Onofrio, man.
yeah.
holy shit!
His most disturbing role was from Here Comes the Man in Black, where he was the creepy alien.
That's
that
right,
was
with the
just
skin.
cockroach.
Wait, you don't think his most disturbing role wasn't Full Metal Jacket?
I thought Full Metal Jacket when he's in the latrine.
Right.
Yeah, that's scary.
In a world.
That's
Yeah.
Damn,
That's just
he
Like
was.
truly, like completely psychotic breakdown.
Yeah.
That's
Ed,
scary.
what's with your skin? It's all hanging loose on your face.
Mic off.
I did not know that was him.
Oh yeah, that was him. Yeah,
Oh, that's totally.
All right, yeah, I'll have to watch that again.
it's a very
Yeah.
special guy. Very special.
Very special.
Don't do that.
Yeah, he was also in Identity.
Was he really?
I do believe he was the main character in Identity.
Yeah, Vince.
He's a rock star. That Vincent D'Onofrio is
Yeah,
awesome.
he's a great actor.
His Kingpin when he's
I could not think of
smashing his head in the
anybody better
fucking
than Kingpin.
corridor.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Well, and the whole thing of him just staring at that
Oh, yeah.
fucking that plaster wall.
Yeah.
right.
How he removed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I like it. I like it in Daredevil too when Matt Murdock is talking with him, and he just basically says, "Yeah, you know your chick that you're in love with, you'll never see her because I'm gonna fuck you up," and he just like sits there for a second before he snaps, and then just goes Kingpin on his ass. I'm like, I can't think of anybody better as Kingpin than him.
Oh my god, yeah.
I can't.
I like how the whole
Yeah,
Daredevil series, Daredevil was basically just a foil to introduce much more interesting antagonists.
Yeah.
D'Onofrio's the
Or
Kingpin.
anti-heroes.
Yeah, way more. The Kingpin was way more interesting than Daredevil, and what was the Punisher? The Punisher way more interesting than Daredevil, and
Yep. Elektra, way more
Yeah.
interesting.
right, but and
Way deeper story.
oh yeah, both with both of the main characters, with Kingpin and Punisher, both the times when they would have their face-offs and they'd be espousing their own ideologies. The whole time I'd be like, yeah, Daredevil, listen to him. Listen to him. He's making sense.
Yeah. I mean, Daredevil, I love Daredevil, but he was a whiny Catholic kid who ran and he got some chemicals in his eyes. And
Right. When I
got
was like
super
11
senses.
years old, he seemed really awesome. And then all of a sudden, as an adult, I'm like, fuck this guy. No, Punisher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go in, Punisher. Yeah, you do your shit. Yeah, that's
I have a moral compass that justifies me to let you go, and
Everybody deserves a second chance.
my Catholic moral compass is way better than yours.
Actors always like playing villains more than heroes because villains almost always have a lot more depth to them than
Yeah.
heroes. People like to have heroes be, the knight in shining armor, and villains can be anything from totally evil like Darth Vader which actually Darth Vader's not even totally evil. He's got some story.
Yeah. You look at his story and you're like, oh shit, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
all his shit was manipulated.
yeah, I mean, villains can run the gamut from totally evil to good but doing a bad thing to they have a lot more depth to them. Whereas heroes,
The best villain,
But the quality of the villain, the quality of the villain sets the ceiling of how good the hero can be. Hold on, I gotta mute you for a second. The quality of the villain sets the ceiling of the quality of the hero.
Amen. Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
And adding to that, bitch.
That's all I wanted to say. Go ahead. You have the speaking conch.
Definitely agreed. Yeah.
Honestly, like the best villains are the ones that you relate to more than the hero, and you get scared at that moment when you're, oh my god, that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
I see what you mean, and that's terrifying, and I never want that to be as easily accessed as the virtuous choice.
well, a lot of heroes they're inaccessible. Like Superman's an inaccessible hero, but an anti-hero is really accessible to people. So you take someone like Clint
Lex
Eastwood,
Luthor.
like Clint Eastwood in Unforgiven. He's an anti-hero. A lot of people can relate to that. He in the end he's sort of a good guy, kind of, but he's got major problems, and people can relate to that a lot.
They did such an amazing job in that movie where every time they would bring up, his past, he would say, oh yeah, well, that was back when I was drinking, and my wife, bless her heart, she cured me of that. And then when they mentioned that he killed Ned, the first thing you see him do is he just pops the cork off that bottle and starts drinking. Like grabbing onto the couch, was like, oh shit.
I know, and that
He just starts drinking. I'm like, oh fuck.
that movie is so weird in that Clint Eastwood comes off as the bad guy in so many ways. He, has sex with whores. He just kills random people. He kills good people. And Gene Hackman, he builds a house. He helps out
Trying to establish law and order.
super lenient. There's a criminal, and he's really lenient to the criminal. He helps the town. It's so cool how it weaves the hero and anti-hero in that movie.
Can I say that's like the HBO effect? Like I really love HBO for the fact that we have Sopranos and Deadwood and Game of Thrones and all of these things that take villainous characters, and you're like, no, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
I get your motivation. I get where you're coming from. And I love a villain that you can be like, okay, you were dealt some shitty hand, and it would take a complete saint to flip that situation you were given,
right,
to turn it around. And there's
For the record,
a normal human being would just ride the villain card straight through because of what they were dealt.
Yeah.
For the record, I think Charlie Cox is an amazing Daredevil, and I hope that he will maintain the Daredevil role.
Amen.
Not as good as Ben Affleck.
What's that?
Not as good as Ben Affleck.
That's on the internet.
Ben Bros forever.
And if you were in his peer circle, you refer to him as Mr. Affleck.
How you like them apples?
I think for me, possibly, it's very interesting. My least favorite villain ever and my most favorite villain ever were both acted by the same actor, Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix's Commodus from Gladiator, I fucking hated. It started out with so much promise.
Mic on.
This backstory about how he murders his father because he's like he can't live up to this expectation that his father has for him. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so fucking brilliant. I love this. And then all of a sudden at the end, they basically just say, oh yeah, all that stuff we've been building up to, they just take a giant shit on it. And then he just runs around going, I'm evil cause I'm evil. I'm evil cause I'm bad. I was like, fuck this. I fucking hate this. but then you know, paradoxically, he goes then and plays the Joker.
Right.
Does such a brilliant job of making the bad guy seem completely believable, and you're like, yep, if I was in that situation, I'd be that exact same fucking guy.
I mean, so many brilliant actors have played the bad guy to the point where we just love that element, and so many of them have been the Joker. I mean, Heath Ledger, you look at that dude and you're like, the enigma he was able to build up to the degree where you still were with him, and you were still in that point where you were like, wow, you are so jazzing up Batman right now, and I kind of fucking love it.
Oh yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this guy about? Cheering for this Batman? Why am I cheering for this crazy fucker who can't get his story straight? He's got an origin story because he's making that shit up, and he's brilliant. I love villains. Villains are so they're amazing, and that
yeah. And I love what Marvel did with Thanos too.
Yeah.
They made him a bad guy, but at the same time, you look at his fucking past, and you're like, no, it makes sense.
I get it.
Yeah, it's fucked up what he's doing, but given his situation, it totally fucking makes sense. He's not doing it just because he's like, I just want to kill everyone.
I love the place where they find him, and in the comic books, it's even more like specified that the dude becomes a farmer. The dude just leaves all that other shit behind and is like, I helped the universe, I did my shit, I'm gonna go and be a farmer.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take my time and I'm gonna like mold the land. And you know, like I love the fact that that's where he went. Like that's just brilliant.
Yeah. I love that. It seems like that has been a definite trend probably since the 90s onward of making much more believable villains. Like we're not going to be, you're the bad guy because you like to do bad things and you want bad stuff to happen. No, it's like people were like, okay, people aren't buying that shit anymore. Like
Jesus, I mean, like look at the 90s especially. Look at the Crow. I mean, like it's a revenant. It's a person who says, I'm coming back from the dead. I'm gonna kill everybody that was responsible for making me a miserable fucking zombie.
Right.
Like,
I'm gonna do it all using my badass laser mohawk.
Yeah. And it's really difficult. It's really difficult, I think, in this time to look at heroes then. To take a hero and say, I completely align with you. Because it's hard to align with a hero nowadays.
Yeah, because it's unrealistic. It really is. Like the guy who unfappably always chooses the right fucking thing. You're like,
because that's not what I do.
Right. You're like, okay, so you're not gonna steal bread to feed your starving family. Like
I spend 3/4 of my day looking at my kids and saying, oh, I did that wrong. Please don't ever do that. That's good. Like that, like what that's gonna be on my tombstone. My kids are gonna be like, my dad told me, don't be like me. And that's my tombstone is gonna be that way. But it's hard. I mean, life is so difficult and you make wrong choices all the time. And I think the heroes nowadays, and let me toot my own horn, are those people that can admit that they're wrong. Like that's the hero nowadays.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's kind of
be like, I am completely faulty. This is how I'm faulty.
You're right.
Right.
Like Wolverine. Like I am surly. I will not fucking. I'm not going to give you a fucking hug. You know, like I am not going to give you a fucking cow. Yeah. I will drag your fucking carcass. I'll drag your fucking bleeding ass out of that burning barn because fucking that's what I need to do. Not because you fucking want me to or because everybody expects me to, but because I somehow feel fucking that's what I need to do. But and I'm not gonna fucking give you a hug afterward either. That is kind of because he's got like all these character flaws, yet still somehow ends up being the hero.
Craziness. Hey, my people, I got to scramble, but I love you and thank you for an awesome night.
Yes, thank you, Coobs.
Cool. Yeah.
Next Monday, we're gonna plan
I
on
sent
doing.
you like 1,500 DM messages that I know you couldn't reply to.
Yeah, no, I tried to. There was a lot of freaking whispers going on, and I've been whispering with people who are not actively communicating over the last 10 minutes. Well, only with one person. Sorry, Jack. You were the left out. Yeah, the person who's actually twitching.
The funny thing is like I thought all these people were going to come to my house and they were going to get some sort of deep insight into Bartholomew Bendbow. Look, I was going to give them like, this is who I am, and like none of the people who were playing tonight, except for Okono, who just wandered off, were actually in my home.
Right. Everybody else.
Solo
role play.
So there we go. I'm glad I could do all that character development. Okono, by the way, you did see some pretty cool posters of a band called Apple Deadly.
Ooh, not out of
And you did see a poster of a band called Apple Deadly and their album, the original, not Sin, but the original Win. That's something you saw tonight. But just letting you know.
Right on.
Since you're the only
I'll note
person-
that in the diary of Bart.
He's just fucking white people.
Thanks for that.
In the diary of fucking white people.
Seriously, who decorates their house like this?
Okono, please. Hello.
The name is Tyler Durden.
Hello. I spent so much time apologizing to your people. As well I did.
But I'm assuming now. So for next Monday, we are going to be doing World of Darkness, which means Coobs, you got to be there.
Yep.
Because if you're not there, you are the last cog in the revolution machine.
Yep.
So yes.
Yeah. No, I plan on being there and 100% full.
We're doing
focus and attention.
And shit is gonna go fucking bananas.
Let's
we're gonna
get
turn it up to
bananas.
11.
Yeah.
So next Monday you're doing D&D.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Carrick's Cross is primed.
It's about to go up in flames.
Yeah, there's definitely a countdown till that Titan arrives.
They're convinced the Titan. They're like, hey, you like to fight? You want to go and like kick the shit out of an entire city? And he's like, yeah. Come on.
No, but wait. There's something giant that's gonna come and help you. Trust me.
They're like, we didn't give him a whole lot of direction, did we?
I'm just banking on the fact that I can get to him before he starts attacking if we need him to stop.
He's coming. I promise. There's this giant Titan that'll be here
any minute now. You'll see him. He'll be coming. He's like 40. He's big.
I think it would be so epic if like this group of adventurers who we've been playing with for the last 6 to 7 years, we get to this climactic battle, and
TPK.
I would not be disappointed if 60% plus of us get killed, like the Magnificent Seven. You know, like we're all the fucking heroes and we come together, or the Seven Samurai if you're Jack.
The Dirty Dozen. I just posted the Dirty Dozen thing.
Or Dirty Dozen, where it's like, oh, I mean, I know it's not going to happen because my guy has all sorts of contingencies in place.
I will say Coobs will be okay with our god.
My character's not going to die.
I don't know. I was thinking about how fucked up it would be if the only true heralds of a god left to humanity
I don't know,
died to a random crossbow bolt to the knee.
I don't know. crucified or something.
I think what would be awesome is if everybody died except for Chudwell and the fucking dwarf.
Amen. Amen. Yeah.
Everybody else who started like 7 years ago gets killed. The two
That's
brand new
true.
guys who are all obnoxious as hell, but have a lot of freaking FaceTime in everything that's going on right now. They come out on top.
Yeah. Well,
That
it's
makes
I know,
sense. They're the future.
I do not.
children are our
I
future.
What's that, Mark?
Teach them well and let them
I
do.
said I do not forget that I nearly TPK'd y'all when I did not read the the entirety of that spell. That shit was fucking crazy. Greg, did I tell you about that?
What?
So they were getting the phylactery of Dragotha, the undead Dracolich, and it was it was being guarded by this citadel that was controlled by giants. There's like frost giants, fire giants, all these giants.
Those
They killed the general, like right off the bat. They fucking killed his ass. Killed a couple of these like guard guys, and they get down to the bottom, and there's this big ass frost giant. The frost giant's like, "Oh yeah, I've been trying to get through this door, blah 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 blah, but I can't." And they're like, "Oh yeah, no. The general said, yeah, we're supposed to come down, and you're gonna help us get in the door." Like, yeah, no, he was talking about how you knew it all along, and he's like, yeah, fucking A. He's like, finally, all right, shit, let's go. And so they start going, and he's like, yeah, and then they run into like one of the bodies of the giants that they killed earlier, and the guy's like, what the hell is going on? And then like all the parties like, oh no, there must be infiltrators. I wonder if the dragons got in, and they're like, oh no, and then all of a sudden the dwarf goes, nah, I fucking killed him. And so the frost
Who's
giant,
brand new to the party.
right? The frost giant all of a sudden looks at the dwarf and swings this big staff and like pummels him. Everybody starts attacking the frost giant.
Not I. I had initiative.
Yeah.
I had
You
the
know,
top of
like,
initiative, and I was like, nope, that dwarf is gonna get what's coming to him.
Yeah.
And I just backed up and sat by a wall and ate popcorn.
Boy, so this giant, he was a frost giant who also happened to be a 20th level sorcerer, and so he cast this spell. I think it was called like Eye of the Maelstrom.
Mic off.
Or what was it, Eye of the Tempest or Eye of the Maelstrom?
I
I hadn't really read it, but I was like, in one round they dropped him from like 345 to like 85 hit points. Like they fucked him up, and I'm like, well, I better cast this fucking spell now. I probably won't get the chance to do it. And so the first round, it does 10d10 cold damage, and everybody has to make a save, but like a DC 20 Constitution save, or you become what is it? It's like immobilized.
You're immobilized.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay. And I had no idea. Immobilized means that you cannot take actions or reactions. You're just fucked. You just sit there and take whatever anybody's going to give you. And this spell goes on.
And you continue taking cold damage.
Yeah. And then the next round, it does another 10d10 cold damage. And then if you fail your save, you go unconscious. And on the third round, it does another 10d10 cold damage. And if you fail your save on the third round, it petrifies you into a block of fucking ice.
Yeah. Yep.
And
wasn't
on
Lion
the very first round, it immobilized absolutely fucking everybody except for the dwarf. And
I took no damage because I'm immune to cold.
Right, he's immune to cold, so
but I was still immobilized.
He's immobilized. He can't do anything. He's not taking any damage though, because it's all cold damage. And everybody else is just getting fucking wasted. Like fucking Lando is like burning 9th level spells so that he doesn't fucking die, so he can absorb some of this fucking damage. And finally, the fucking on the third round, the spell goes off, and Stone ends up he gets petrified, turned to ice. And I'm like, well, you've got a fucking fate point that you've earned, so that lets you re-roll any die. So he was able to re-roll and make his save. So he just fucking narrowly saved himself from fucking total death, being turned into a fucking block of ice. And Lion's character, Alistero, he did the same thing. He failed his save, burned a fate point, and fucking missed it again, and he got turned into a block of light. The dwarf finally killed the fucking giant, and then Lando, the elven blade singer, cast a wish spell to fucking bring Alistero back to life. So the first time I ever seen anybody cast a wish, which was fucking dope. But I was like, holy shit, like that could have, like, had the dwarf not been fucking, if everybody would have been immobilized, it would have been just dead. Everybody would have been fucking wiped out.
And honestly, the coolest part of that is Akono using an actually earned wish spell.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is the coolest thing. And
Mic on.
I've never seen it happen in hello.
Like,
Like,
he actually starting out at level 1 or level 2.
Years of gaming.
For the record, my cleric could have restored him and brought him back with a couple of different spells, but it's just not in his personality to do so, so he did not.
That's right. That's right.
He was like, no, that guy's dead.
We want to give the good death.
Nice. How fitting.
That guy's dead. Yeah, that's a great way to die, according to my goddess.
It's all about the good death.
Yeah. So that was crazy. That was when I nearly TPK'd the entire party.
Oh, that was awesome.
They had not read, and I was like reading the spell. I'm like, what the fuck is this condition?
Wait a minute. And
like,
Mark, after how many years?
After how many years?
After how many years have these people been playing?
7 years. Yes, after 7 years.
Yeah, that was after 7 years.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, this is getting serious.
Oh, that's great.
I will say, Floyd, thank you for Stone. Stone is still alive.
Yeah.
And Stone is playing a very big part in the revolution.
Yeah, I mean, my whole point was to make him this kind of stoic, indomitable, just stands up. He's the person that when everyone else cowers down, he just stands up and takes everything. And so
that's true. I've been able to play that. I think my favorite moment of Stone was like basically when I joined in, Stone had just shouted from his helmet and knocked a whole fucking table of nobles over.
That's right.
When I first started, and I was like, oh, shit. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. And then as we're leaving, like there were like 3 or 4 guards that like pulled themselves out in front of like, we're gonna block you from leaving the castle. And I kind of came forward and I was like, all right, let's test charisma as a stoic charisma leader. And I kind of stepped forward and I said, hi, if you want to live, you're going to clear out of the way.
Yeah.
And I rolled really nicely, and people were just like, okay.
Yeah. They're like, let me get the door.
Like, oh, okay, I like this paladin. I'll do this thing. I'll do this. This is nice.
Yeah.
He's good at a couple things.
Well, in my,
it's weird. He's gotten a lot better at like the techno raging too.
Yeah. Well, and my one regret is that so much has been lost now in the switching from one edition to the other.
Yeah.
Like different plot lines and sub character plots have kind of fallen by the wayside. Which
what did we do? What did you guys start with?
Well, we started with 3.5 edition, went to 4th edition, then went to Dungeon World, and then went to 5th edition. So
yeah.
we went to 5th edition, then to Dungeon World, then back to 5th edition.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I joined. I think I joined right when you guys started Dungeon World.
Yeah. I think so. And I like Dungeon World to a point.
I did a little bit of Dungeon World. So you started probably in the middle of Dungeon World.
Yeah. Okay. That's true. Yep.
Yeah. Some of the Dungeon World stuff I definitely like, but I know like especially the spellcasters because the spells in Dungeon World were. I mean, like D&D kind of does overkill, especially with all the expansions, where you're like, okay, what of the 3,000 spells should I memorize today?
Right.
Yeah. In Dungeon World, it's more like, what of the 6 spells should I memorize?
Right.
happy meeting.
It is cool. It is cool in that regard.
Yeah.
Right. Like you have a very specific thing that you can do,
Yeah.
and you have that aisle. That
Yeah.
aisle is yours and yours alone.
Right.
And that's pretty cool.
The
have
classes
that.
seemed kind of unbalanced. you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the paladins were like super hardcore powerful.
Yeah, like they could take one of their oaths and basically be immune to a certain type of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then we couldn't enjoy anything.
Yeah.
So role playing wise, I can't have sex. I can't eat donuts.
No red
Right,
meat.
but, like,
No
no
drinking
red
after
meat.
dark.
Come on,
All that stuff is okay.
So I'm like, I would really love. I mean, like, fuck, if this was like a solo adventure, like, you know, with Stone and with fucking Landorian, I could like literally take both of you guys and do complete solo fucking adventures with just you and your swords, and have an entire like fucking trilogy of novels just on that, because that is just so fucking ripe for storytelling. But it's like I'm trying to move the main
elf and the stoic human would be pretty
right. I'm trying to move the main outline forward to get everything going, and it's a lot of that stuff just kind of falls by. And I'm like, oh yeah, fuck, like, oh, Daemora should be doing something here. Like,
Oh yeah.
whisper to fucking Lando, Daemora is very angry.
Yeah, I will find myself asking when I like,
Right. You're
this
like,
guy
really?
seems like he might have
Daemora's
some
not
demon
doing
blood in him. What's Daemora doing?
Right. I'm like, oh fuck, that's right. God damn it. Yeah. Yeah. Sentient swords are awesome, but they are literally they are NPCs that need to be accounted for at all times. So yeah, it's just more shit. But it's meant for great storytelling and stuff if you can somehow fold it all in there. But
Yeah.
yeah, and like Joey Joe's got a whole fucking backstory thing that I haven't even fucking. I was starting to get into it, and then it kind of meandered away, and I have yet to fucking touch back onto it. And yeah, so. Stone's whole journey to find his sister. That's so it's going to be so unsatisfying, like the end of Lost.
I think I basically had the first chance to ask you about it. I think 2 games ago. I said,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it might come up
Did I
later.
ever find my sister?
It's like I should have that as a macro. It might come up later. Yeah.
Shouldn't we all?
But yeah, no, it's
FO, play and find out.
We're gonna have a lot of fun, but yeah. There's just so many threads that I've woven through that I'm just like, it's gonna be impossible to tie all these.
I will just say this. We've already made the Dragon Wagon. It was constructed. That was like our first goal as a group, other than to just somehow manage to take more land and title away from the good, hardworking folks of Winterhaven.
And get a fucking kick-ass wagon to go along with it. Fuck yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, well, that was we killed that dragon, and then we had that skull, and we were like harvesting all these parts and stuff off the dragon, like the scales for shields and
right,
whatever, because there was nothing, it was just like apocalyptic world where like, regular metal was considered currency because it had more value,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we were harvesting all these dragon parts, and we thought, what are we gonna do with the skull?
Yeah, Kaiden. I think it was Kaiden. Like, he wanted to have the blacksmith forge his axe blade onto the femur of the dragon. This like dragon bone axe. And I was like, cool, sounds neat. But, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we can. We'll have more fun next Monday. We'll be jumping into the Shadowfell and basically the ongoing crisis at Carrick's Cross.
Nice.
I will be there.
Carrick's
I will.
Cross,
I will watch Cool Runnings at least 3 times between now and then.
And hey, on an interesting side note, I started watching The Expanse, which I think.
Oh, great show!
It's a fun show.
Yeah, the Belters. I was like, holy shit, that is what I imagine the fucking Shadowfellians to talk like, because they have like a very slight fucking like Jamaican. They're like, oh yeah, what you gonna do now, cop man? Like,
Yeah,
what you gonna come in here with your badge now? What is this? Is this what you doing now? And I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, that's
a good connection.
Umbra.
Yeah.
I'll watch it this weekend for.
Yeah. Every time I hear him now, I'm thinking. I'm like,
do the only stone Jamaican sense. Like,
yes. I'm like, they're from the Shadowfell. The Belters are the Shadowfell people.
I know I've been talking like this, but no, I'd be talking like this, man.
It's kind of like if the Tick grew up in Jamaica.
I say, spoon man.
Spoon.
You say you want the justice of the peace. Well, you become the piece of justice, man.
That was good.
Oh, dear Lord. I love you people.
And here's a Jamaican joke. So this guy and his wife, they've been married for 20 years, and they decided to get each other's initials tattooed on them. And so the woman, the wife, she gets his initials tattooed on, which are WY, and then the guy, he gets her initials, which are no, I'm sorry, he gets her initials, which are WY, and she gets his initials, which are like JY. And they're in Jamaica, and they're like, oh yeah, it's 20-year anniversary, this is great. So they get their tattoos, and later that night, he ends up, he gets the tattoo like right next to his fucking junk. So he's got this WY next to his junk. He's taking a piss, and this big Rastafarian Jamaican guy, huge dreadlocks, comes up, stands right next to him at the trough, and he starts pissing. And the guy looks over, glances over, and he can't help but notice that this big Jamaican guy has a WY just like him tattooed on his fucking cock. And he looks at it, he's like, what the fuck? And he's like, holy shit, have I had too much drink? He like looks again. He's like, what the fuck? And the Jamaican guy knows him. He's like, what you looking at, man? And the guy goes, I'm sorry, I can't help but notice. He's like, I see you have a WY tattooed on your cock. Why did you get that tattooed on your cock? And the Jamaican looks at me and goes, oh, no, man. It doesn't say WY. It says, welcome to Jamaica, man. Enjoy your stay in Iraq. Mm-hmm.
Oh, dear Lord. Well, that was
and you're welcome, quick viewers.
that was a journey we took.
Yeah, catch us next Monday around 9 o'clock.
Next Monday around 9.
More native tongues and yeah.
It'll be D&D.
Yes.
D&D, man.
Yep, high level D&D.
D&D.
Enjoy the maybe end of that campaign.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
not quite there yet.
we're building on the end.
Yeah.
You also have a Dracolich to fight, and or possibly fight.
I will say our dungeon master just said, "No, you're not even close to the end."
Yeah.
No, we're level 18. Level 18. There's 2 more levels before we get killed.
All right, well, enjoy your time, and I will see you next time we play.
Later,
Take
Floyd.
care, Gregor.
Peace,
Thank you,
everybody.
guys.
See you, everybody.
See you later. Thanks.